I jolted awake, heart racing. Something felt wrong. The hum of the dorm was unsettlingly still. No late-night giggles or murmured conversations from my hallmates. I rubbed my eyes, blinking against the darkness. My room was bathed in the usual dim glow from the street lamp outside, but something pulled me toward the door. I listened. There was a faint sound. Footsteps. Not one or two, but dozens, moving in perfect unison. What the hell? I climbed out of bed, my bare feet padding softly on the cold floor as I crept toward the door. Slowly, I turned the knob, wincing at the slight creak. Peering out, my breath caught in my throat. Everyone was in the hallway, all my dorm mates, their eyes half closed, their faces blank. They were sleepwalking, moving silently and uniformly down the corridor. My roommate Lucy was among them, her head tilted slightly forward, arms hanging limply at her sides. I wanted to call out to her, shake her awake, but something deep inside told me not to. I couldn't explain it, but I turned cold as ice. They weren't just sleepwalking. There was purpose behind their steps, as if they were being called. Fear gripped me as I backed into my room. What should I do? Lock the door? Call someone? But no. What if they come back? What if they find out I'm awake? I took a deep breath. There was only one way to figure out what was happening. I needed to follow them, but blend in. Acting on pure instinct, I shuffled into the hallway, careful to match their pace. My arms hung loosely, my eyes half-lidded, my breathing steady. I merged into the line of sleepwalkers. My heart was hammering in my feet. We moved down the hall, out of the dorm, and into the cold night. Everything was quiet. All you could hear was the synchronized sound of shuffling feet. The group headed toward the old abandoned building behind the campus. It had been off-limits for years, rumors swirling about accidents and disappearances. But now it seemed we were all going there willingly. The doors creaked as the first few students entered, the ancient wood groaning under their body weight. I kept my expression blank even as dread clawed at my insides. We descended down a flight of stairs, deeper and deeper into the bowels of the building. I was trapped in this nightmare, but I couldn't stop now. What the hell was I thinking? The group led us into an underground chamber. My breath hitched in my throat as I saw a massive black pool, its surface impossibly still and reflecting nothing but the void. The pool seemed to pulse, as if alive. One by one, my dorm mates approached the edge, stepping forward with mindless obedience. They jumped. No splash, no ripple, just gone, consumed by the pool as if they had never existed. Panic rose in my chest. What was this? A ritual? A curse? And what would happen to me when it was my turn? I was nearing the front of the line now, only a few people left before I'd be forced to jump. My hands trembled, though I kept them slack by my sides. I could hear the faint hum growing louder, like a distant chant just at the edge of hearing, pulling me toward the water. Lucy was in front of me. She took one step, then another, her bare feet edging closer to the abyss. She paused at the edge for just a moment before disappearing into the blackness. I was next. Time slowed. I could feel the pull, the magnetic force beckoning me toward the water. My breath quickened, my mind screaming at me to stop. But I had to keep up the act. One wrong move and they'd know I wasn't one of them. I approached the edge, staring down into the endless black below. The pool seemed to reach for me, tendrils of darkness curling up like fingers, ready to drag me under. Then a thought hit me. If everyone was being drawn here, maybe they were still alive. Maybe this pool was a gateway and not a grave. Or maybe that was just the insanity of fear talking. Either way, I had no choice. I took a deep breath, preparing to fake the jump. My plan was simple. I'd leap just far enough to hit the edge, not the water, and then I'd figure it out. But before I could jump, something cold and slimy wrapped around my ankle. I screamed, breaking the facade, stumbling backward as a hand, no, a twisted, deformed claw, dragged itself from the water's surface. It was hideous, a pale, bloated thing with too many fingers, its skin slick with the black liquid. Its grip tightened as it pulled me forward, closer to the edge. I kicked, thrashing, trying to free myself, but it was no use. The sleepwalkers continued their march, oblivious, stepping calmly around me as the thing dragged me inch by inch toward the pool. In a final burst of panic, I reached down, clawing at its hand, ripping my nails into its flesh. I pulled away, scrambling to my feet. The creature hissed, its mouth opening to reveal rows of jagged teeth, eyes glowing faintly in the dark. I bolted, sprinting toward the stairs. My heart pounded. I was completely out of breath. The last thing I heard before reaching the surface was the sound of the sleepwalkers still marching, still jumping, as if nothing had happened. I burst out of the old building, collapsing on the grass outside. My chest heaved as I tried to process what I had just seen. The others, my friends, were still down there, trapped. And whatever had taken them was still waiting.